G'day guys, welcome back to another video of Mutiny Pirate Survival. How are we doing? Hope you guys are well. So as you can see, we are at the Copper Island. Now this is a continuation on my little video series of how to clear Mutiny Islands and zones. So now we are at the tail end of the normal, as I call it, the normal areas and zones before you're going to need to open up the shallow waters that unlocks the northern zones, as you can see over here. But for now, we are focusing today on Copper Island, and we're going to be making our way over to the Fang Island fairly soon. So if you guys want to go back and check out the previous videos, I am going to put the playlist somewhere in the description area and the little flaggy thingy-madoodle in the top right hand corner, so you guys are going to be able to go ahead and check those out if you guys are fairly new to the game. And if you guys are fairly new to the game, you would have seen a little QR code pop up in the top right hand corner. Definitely go ahead and scan that, or check out the game in the description so you can download it from your respective store there. But let's go ahead and get into it today. So by now we have sort of progressed our way through, and we find ourselves over in the Copper Island. So what I've done here is what I feel that you guys will more or less should have, possibly around the best case possible scenario. So as you can see, I've got some okay clothing. I managed to find some bad sailor's pants, which is a tier 2, and we've got basically copper tools and weapons and things like that, because you would have been able to find it in the mountain islands, sorry, the rocky island I should say, from the previous video. So that will enable you to craft and smelter up some copper bars, and that'll enable you to make copper weapons, which will allow you to come through to these type of islands here and you know, see if you can hang it with these fellas here. So as you can see, there are some enemies here, so we're just going to do a quick demo here to see how well we can actually take these fellas out with any sort of minimal fuss. So as you can see, I'm stabbing my way through quite quickly, and we managed to get ourselves only a very little morsel amount of what do you call it, of well, meat really. And as always, you can still try and sneak your way through if you choose to do so, or if you need to engage and take out a pirate or two, you've got that ability as well. Now with this fella here, I find that these guys are a quick win as well, because they've got a bit of an AoE happening that will allow you to take advantage of their slowness, and that way you can take them out without having to worry about them attacking you. Now you've got an NPC, this fella here, look, I really don't want to engage with him. You can if you want to, but the best way to do this, especially if you're new into the zone, without having to waste your own resource trying to take on this fella, and if you were successful to sort of take his HP down to a fairly low level, he or she in some instances may actually start running away, and without having the right tools to take him out, you may miss out on that opportunity. So my idea, well, my suggestion is maybe not engage and don't waste your time and trying to take those type of fellas on. Look, granted, if you are a higher level ranked player and you've got the firepower behind you, well, you may as well just do it, right? And it makes all the sense in the world to do that. So right now we're at a little bit of a crossroads here, so we want to make sure that we can try and sort of take you know, make our way through. In this instance here, we managed to attract a singular pirate, which in some cases, sometimes you might have to take a hit in order for you to progress in a map. So my suggestion for you guys is pick your battles, right? So make sure that you are comfortable and confident in taking out one person at a time if you can, to allow yourself to progress on and find your way through the map, basically. I'm just going to go ahead and take that. Let's go ahead and take out this charcoal. So over here, let's just continue on sneaking our way through. So we've got a savage Varan here, so we're just going to make sure that we don't... Oop. We've got a guy that's going to stab us here, we've got a guy that's going to shoot us here. See how well we do in just sort of taking these fellas out. So far so good. Oop. Okay, so we've got our first weapon that broke, that's okay, because I'm going to stab him. As you can see, it takes a little bit in delay in taking him out, so you've got to sort of be careful as well, because don't forget, you're not going to be quick, you're going to be fairly, I guess, lethargic, very slow, so just keep that in mind when sort of trying to, I guess, take out an enemy, right? Sometimes you may need to just reset yourself and just get yourself out of the map and start again, which is totally understandable, and which is something that you should be doing if you need to. Alright, so let's just continue and sneaking our way through. Like I said, the purpose of these videos is for you to try and tackle these zones and basically come out with resources and minimal casualty for yourself. And once you sort of build yourself up, then you become more confident, and what that does is it allows you to attack these islands head on, and you don't have to worry about sneaking around as much as you guys see me doing here. This is really for your benefit and ensuring that you guys can and will be able to come through these zones and be able to come out with some good stuff. Okay, so as you can see, we are making our way over here, and we have been able to, and then when you get things like this, you're gonna have to bail. I am no stranger to that, so I prefer to bail and get myself out of harm's way. And once we come back in, we're going to get that that Ocelot coming out after us, so we're going to have to deal with him anyway. So sometimes it is a thing, you're going to have to deal with these things from time to time, so just be careful with that. Alright, who do we have here? We've got a pirate over here. Let's see if we can make our way around. Now, since we sort of opened up a little section here, it's easy for us to walk our way through and move our way through this zone with ease. So as you can see, we've got a few more spots over here that we sort of, you know, do we want to attack, yes or no? Now we just sort of I guess warned the cavalry, so let's go ahead and get ourselves out of harm's way. And before you go back in, and I hadn't actually explained this beforehand either, when you're in the overmap, I don't know if it's a glitch or if it's a thing, but you can actually use up your heals quicker without having to wait for the cooldown. So just keep that in mind. That's something that you guys can do before you go back in. So handy little tip for you. So let's go back in. And again, like I said, there's no shame in doing it this way either. If you have to get yourself out, you have to get yourself out. It's just one of those things. Alright, let's see if we can sneak our way through here. Because remember, down here, those fellas are down there. So let's see if we can just sort of migrate our way through and see if we can get ourselves by. Looks like we can. And you'll find there is some tin over there as well. So let's see if we can do this strategically, right? So far, I'm still in the crouch position. We're getting some copper, which is good, which is really, really good for us. Okay, so who we got over here? Okay, so we can't get past him, so we're just going to let him come out to us. Okay, well, we took that hit there, shouldn't have happened, but retrospectively, you can get by without having to arouse any other suspicion, and we might be able to get by without arousing our little Varan friend over there, and you'll be able to get yourself some tin in the process. So that's it, guys. That is one way I would sort of travel through this zone here, undetected for the most part, as best as you can. And yeah, you'll be able to get yourself some pretty cool stuff and some usable resources in order for you to, you know, use for your own benefits, really. So you can even still go through here. Oh no, you still got found. I still got found. I would have been, if in that instance there, I probably would have been found by that Varan as well. So probably not the best advice to sort of try your luck, but you can sometimes. You definitely can. Now here, if we tried our luck here, we probably wouldn't have made it through there, so you would have had to have dealt with those guys. So to be honest with you, I'm just going to leave and exit the zone. And let's go ahead and head over to the Fanged Island. So that's the next one here for today. But hopefully you got something a little bit out of that. Hopefully that has sort of aided you guys and sort of given you guys some cool little tips and hopefully some tricks in order for you to navigate through these sort of islands here. Alright, let's continue on. And you know what? Sometimes when you're in these zones here, you definitely want to see how well you can take out these tamed animals as well. Because sometimes I'll drop some things like leather, or some rough hide I should say. And why that is important is that the rough hide is going to enable you to be able to craft up things like the next tier of clothing for you. So you'll be able to get the more refined hide. That'll enable you to craft better clothing, and you know that will be better for you only because you'll be able to have a little bit more defense. So let's just go ahead and pop you. Pop you. You'll definitely come back to me, so that's fine. And just go pop. There we go. So let's just take that. Let's take that. Now there are a few of these what do you call it, pirates around. You're going to find some varans, whatever you want to call them. And the ocelots are in effect here too. But yeah, this is a really cool island because you're going to be able to find the next tier of heals. So you definitely want to sort of come past here and swing by here as much as you can, especially if you just want to farm these fellas here. Totally up to you if you guys want to do it that way, but you do get access to things like what is this fella here? I can't actually pick him up, so we're going to have to get rid of something. Honestly, I can't really get rid of anything, but since that's in a singular, you'll be able to get some jute. So jute's the next thing. We've got Jackson over here. Now, look, honestly, I don't want to deal with Jackson because he's going to come after me and start shooting me, and you'll find that some of these guys will be a little bit overpowered for you when you're trying to navigate your way through this zone. So the idea of this is see how well you can navigate yourself around. And I feel like the animal islands, let's put them, or let's call them that, or let's class them as this, that they haven't had too much in the way of map changes. So the map itself is still fairly open, meaning that you can still travel your way around and sort of get by without having to sort of navigate rocks and things like that, and any sort of cornerage in basically putting you into a situation where you actually have to sort of engage in single combat or 2-on-1 combat, things like that, if that makes sense to you guys. I hope that makes sense. I hope I sort of conveyed that well enough. But basically, some of the zones that we have gone through now, they have been changed and revamped, and they're not as easy to navigate and maneuver around as this type of island is, just to sort of give you guys a bit of clarity on that. I know how I want to say it in my own way, but it doesn't always sort of relate when you're sort of trying to put it into words, so there's that. And then unfortunately you get an ocelot wanting to come and poop on your parade, and unfortunately sometimes you have to engage in not one but possibly two enemies at once. But in this instance I've been able to get myself by without a problem. Let's go ahead and heal up, and I'm just going to wait for the cooldown once more, and we are good. Perfect. Okay, so let's see if we can negotiate our way around here. So let's go around this way, and before we get close enough, let's just crouch our way around. So hopefully, like I said, this has sort of given you guys a bit of an idea on how you would sort of navigate these terrains, and hopefully it will allow you to get some good stuff before you die or it becomes too difficult in a way. So you can definitely do this. It's definitely doable. and I'm doing it to scale as best as I can as well. And what I mean by that is I'm using, I guess, weapon, clothing, heal correctness, if that makes sense. So it's more scalable to the zone that I'm in, and I've stripped myself from, you know, better weapons, better clothing, better heals, and, you know, things like the earrings and things like that you'll get later on as you're playing the game. And yeah, hopefully this makes it a little bit more realistic for everyone. That's the aim of this. And you can see the Ocelot did actually find me or see me. So if that happens and he's stuck, well, you can actually get yourself out of dodge before they come and attack you, and that animal in particular gets reset, which is fantastic. So it works out for you guys, all in your advantage. All right, so for the most part, I think I've sort of explained it as best as I can, but I can pretty much now go through here quite freely because I've got the spirit level. The spirit level is what's going to carry me in these situations. So for the most part, there may have been a couple of anomalies where you may have found that you would have got found out. But in my case, you know, I tried my best to, I guess, exemplify that you can do it, even though if you haven't pumped a lot of, you know, points into spirit or things like that. So hopefully that sort of comes across well, and you guys have a better understanding on how to clear these two zones today in this video. So hopefully you guys got something out of this one here. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it, if it made sense to you. If it didn't make sense, please let me know so I can try explain this guys to you better. But like I said, I try to use corrective. Oops, what do we got here? Who have we got here? We got Sakura. Hey, what are you doing, Sakura? No, Sakura. Ooh, we nearly got taken out. And as you can see, by taking out some of these NPCs. Oh, Jesus, let's get out of here. Ooh, that was close. We nearly bit the bullet on that one there, guys. But as you can see, it is attainable that you can take out some of those NPCs. You pick your battles. I would probably recommend taking out the ones that either have the bows and the sledgehammers before you try and attempt to take out the ones that have the swords, the knives, and especially the guns. Except for the shotguns. The shotgun is probably the one that I would go for. So I'll recap: any raiders or pirates with the shotgun, the sledge, and the bow and arrows are probably the ones that you want to take out. But for everything else, if you've got the firepower and the heals, go for it. If not, get yourself out of there. And as you just seen, I nearly bit the big one on that one there. But hopefully this has been a little bit informative. I definitely want to sort of try and do the pirates camp as well. That might be something that I may do as well. But I wanted to sort of tackle those two islands here in particular, and if you can do it in that sort of fashion, the way I've done it, you'll eventually build up a nice bit of resources, and you'll be able to start crafting and getting improved weaponry, clothing, things like that. And that way you'll be able to go in there without having to exit the island, or, you know, get yourself by as gingerly as I have in that sense there. So hopefully you found that helpful. I'm hoping so. But like I said, if you didn't, drop a comment in the comment section and I'll try and answer it, or hopefully some of our more experienced pirates will be able to jump in and express their expertise as well, and they may be able to help you too. So that's what it's all about. It's all about bringing you guys together, and it's all about trying to get you guys into the game, and hopefully you guys will be able to get into this game quite easily. Anyway guys, that's it for me today. Thank you for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment down below, share if you can, and if you guys are new to the channel or not and you want to see more, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell icon so you don't miss out on any future videos. Alrighty guys, that's it for me. Take it easy, and I will catch you guys in the next one.